committee and answer questions. Joining me now to discuss this is our political power panel, former Republican Senate candidate for New Jersey, Alex Zdan, and former 2020 Bernie Sanders campaign surrogate, Nomiki Konst. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks, Alicia.
I want to start with this. Politico obtained Biden's campaign ad that a new book claims never ran because they were reportedly dubbed unusable. Take a listen and let's discuss on the other side.
Mr. President, my name is Sam Kuchwar. What is the most important thing you have done for veterans?
We have a lot of obligations as a country. We only have one truly sacred obligation. So prepare those we send to war and care for them and their families when they come home or if they don't come home. Now we have the PACT Act. There are tens of thousands of veterans who are benefiting and their families. Only 1% of our population defends us all. I think we owe them. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
I'm going to give each of you a chance to respond, but Nomiki, ladies first. We'll start with you. What do you make of that report? You know, if it's true, why do you think his inner circle may not have come forward, back then?
I think let's start with the fact that if, the Republicans want to push forward a cover-up because it's convenient to them, because Donald Trump's approval ratings are incredibly low. He's a disaster as a president. He's, attacking working people left and right. He's dismantling government institutions, and they want to distract like they did with, the Clinton emails and Benghazi. I mean, this is what they do, and they do it so well. With that being said, if this were a cover-up, every single doctor that we have seen come forward talking about his cancer has said they need to catch it early, and if they catch it early, it is treatable. And it is still treatable, by the way. It could, his life could live another 5-10 years, as doctors are saying, experts are saying. But if this was a cover-up, and he had the best doctors in the world, and they knew about it, then why wasn't he receiving treatment earlier? It just doesn't make sense. It's not logic. With all that being said, I understand that Republicans want to point to Democrats, and Democrats have their own problems, and we have to find our own leadership and our own message and our own organizing strategy in rebuild. But this, for Democrats to continue to buy into the Republican narrative, it does not serve us in the future. We should be focusing on Donald Trump, his dismantling of institutions, and the fact that he's an existential threat to the United States of America at this point.
Alex, let me have you respond to that, because there is an argument that this is just shiny object syndrome, that, this is a great talking point for Republicans. Why does it matter Biden's health? He's no longer in office. Odds are very low that he'll run again.
Well, there it is. You just heard it. The Democrat reason for pushing Joe Biden forward on the American public. Their contentions that President Trump was such a threat that they had to put out an enfeebled, demented old man who could not handle a crisis, according to his own aides, if one cropped up at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's a crime. It's a conspiracy. It is a cover-up. And Ron Johnson doesn't need to just be sending out angry letters.
Why does it matter now?
Because it's a constitutional issue. It cuts to the bone of our democracy.
This is Donald Trump. Everything he's doing.
That's your justification for everything.
Yes, that is actually, because the Constitution does matter, the Republic does matter, and our current president is dismantling.
The Constitution envisioned a competent president of the United States.
Also,
and if the president is incompetent,
corpus is part of that too.
And still is, and always will.
All right, let me ask you this then. If we concede for a moment to your point that this is a valid concern, on the priority list of concerns for Republicans right now, is it a top priority?
Well, you're the one who's talking about it. You're the one who's holding the segment on it. Clearly, Speaker Johnson wants to get the big, beautiful bill passed. That is his top priority. I think he'd agree with you on that one. Obviously, this is important. This can continue. Congress can walk and chew gum at the same time. We all, knock them a little bit, but they can do that. These hearings are important. These hearings are important because not only should this have not happened, it shouldn't happen again. There needs to be accountability for those inside the government who knew about President Biden's condition, but withheld it from both the American public and other members of the Democratic Party, including elected officials who could and should have weighed in.
Nomiki, let me ask you this. Really quickly, I'm out of time here, but I want to ask you really quickly, what should Republicans be focusing on instead if your argument is this is a moot point?
This isn't going to win them an election. It's not going to win them an election. They have to focus on working people, as do Democrats, by the way. And I blame, I hear you, I disagree with you, but I will also blame some of my fellow Democrats who are using this as an opportunity to skirt the blame. The Democrats are doing real inner work right now. And there are some consultants who are throwing the blame at Biden rather than the fact that they ran that campaign and that they were the ones who kept Biden in office with the polls low. I still believe that, he might have won, he might have not won, but there are some infrastructure issues in the Democratic Party, and this is a media game that's happening, and the Republicans are latching onto it. But, you know, the Republicans didn't win because of Benghazi. They didn't win the House or lose the House because of Benghazi. It's a distraction. It's a way to raise money. And, you know, you guys have responsibility right now. You're in power. You have the entire government. Take responsibility.
I like the fiery of this panel. We're going to have to bring it back. We're kind of running out of time here, but appreciate both of your times. Nomiki Konst and Alex Zdan, thank you again.
Thank you, Alicia.
Appreciate the spirit.
Thank you. Happy March.
Yes. More details.